Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sustainability Explored, a podcast where every week we explore and interview leading professionals, disruptive minds, and thought leaders in the field of sustainability, where I invite them to share their views on the present and the future of the world through the prism of sustainable development. Today, in particular, we will be talking about the future, which is also a little bit the present. With us today, we have Krista Jantti, a design consultant who's focused on XR, AI, and Internet of Things and blockchain technologies, and companies who use or want to use these technologies for their benefit. She runs her own UX consultancy company called Eventually XR, and today we will be talking about something intriguing for me personally, as well as professionally, digital fashion and how it could help us save the natural resources. What are the risks and opportunities digital fashion presents in terms of sustainability and environmental and social risks? Not to keep you all wondering for too long, let's dive deep into the futuristic world that is waiting to be discovered. I'm ready to welcome Krista on this podcast. Hi, Krista. So nice of you to join me today at Sustainability Explored. I'm very intrigued today and excited to talk about the topic that has been bugging me for a while, which is digital fashion. Now that we are on our second year of spending our times indoors, using Zoom and all other digital platforms to communicate with each other, we're only wearing tops. And there was a lot of anecdotes, and you probably know all of it. Digital fashion is becoming, I feel like it's becoming a thing. So how do we still stay interesting to our peers, to those that we communicate to, yet we don't invest in fast fashion and we take care of the natural resources? So this is my big question since forever, since I started to learn about digital fashion and NFTs that, Gary Vee is saying it's going to be huge. What is it really, digital fashion, and how does it help or doesn't help us to save the resources? That's going to be our kind of umbrella topic for today. I know that you run your own consultancy, UX consultancy firm called Eventually XR. You are into the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. I had very little touch with artificial intelligence. Recently read a book of another Finnish author, Mika Ruokonen. I want to know how you got into the field and what opportunities it bears for sustainability. So the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself for the listeners.
Well, first, thank you, Anna, for inviting me to this podcast. And yes, my name is Krista, and I have a company called Eventually XR. The name comes from eventually plus XR, and XR stands for extended reality. And extended reality consists of augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality. So I started my business with helping companies to transform their 2D business to 3D form. So I would love to get more companies and people to spend time in 3D, in VR, in AR, meaning augmented reality. So that's my business. But little by little, I found out that actually there is an interconnection between extended reality technologies, IoT, blockchain, and even artificial intelligence. So that's why I've now broadened my clientele to all the companies who do this.
Right. So is digital fashion, is it part of the mixed reality? Where is the borderline kind of?
It's yes. There are. Let's start with what is digital fashion, because there are so many forms of digital fashion. First is about mixed reality, yes. So basically you have an augmented reality filter. on your real body, your real video stream. So that's one form of digital fashion. For example, everyone knows Snapchat filters or Instagram filters. So basically you take your mobile phone and take a selfie and pick some very nice costume and you take a photo, or you take a little bit video on yourself moving with the digital fashion item. And that is one of my favorite things, because that's where the sustainability comes to the picture. Instagram is a lot about show off, like showing your status, showing that you are trendy and you have the latest fashion. Instead of buying those, ordering them from web shop, somebody is packaging them in China, and it takes trains and cars, and well, the whole supply chain is pretty long after you get the item. Then you dress it on, then you take a picture and you send it back. So there's a lot of fashionistas who consume fashion, they just take one picture and they return the items. So that's, I think, somebody has calculated even 95% of the natural resources could be saved when at least some part of the fashion you consume, you transfer that to digital form. So I think that's super.
Right. You brought something up that's very interesting. I remember I came across a study that says exactly, if a person appeared, now it's kind of a general consensus, if you appear one time on your social media in the outfit, in your new outfit, the chances that you will take a picture in the same outfit, or allow someone to take a picture of you and post that while you're wearing the same coat or a t-shirt, is decreasing very fast. So I think it will soon really become one time, one picture, gone. But I didn't know it's returnable. So I thought they just throw out the stuff.
Yes, that both versions can happen. Somebody return and never actually buy them, and somebody just wear it once, and then I don't know what happens then. And they end up probably in the landfill. But yes, like sort of the way how we consume fashion, the vanity need and status need, we could replace that actually by wearing digital items.
Mm-hmm. So does it mean that the digital fashion will allow us to have 3 white t-shirts and then be new every day because you will apply filters?
T-shirts are not maybe that. There are so many things you can do with digital things. You can do flames, you can do sparkling, you can do you can have wings with your jacket, and the wings are moving. There are so many artistic things you can't have with the real item, tangible items. So that's where like the coolness comes into the picture. So
you got me.
And now it's like people really are into that. So people are spending real money buying those digital fashion.
I like this extravagant approach. You got me at flames. I imagine appearing on the Zoom call with flames and the wings. That would speak better than words, I guess.
Yeah. But then there are other forms of digital fashion. And one thing, for example, futurist Kathy Hackle usually speaks is a direct to avatar fashion. So we are not using our form as you see at this spot, my video stream, but instead you are buying digital clothes to your avatar. A good example of which everyone probably know is Pokemon Go. You have the player, the avatar, and you can buy long jump bags to your avatar. So especially now luxury brands are stepping into the avatar kind of fashion. So people inside the game, they have avatars, and well, they engage with the brand in the virtual world. It can be the whole virtual world or the gaming world, and the gaming culture is blooming. It just goes up and up all the time. And the market space in virtual assets is 50 billion. So people are buying virtual things just for the fun of it. For example, Fortnite game, people buy a lot the cool skins, meaning the in-game clothes.
Right. I am a little bit, not even a little bit, a lot delayed on the digital fashion news, and all of this sounds to me like super futuristic. I would arrive there maybe in 100 years. So my question is, since you are in the field for quite some time, you have been in the field, when did it really start, and what maybe triggered that transition?
Well, it's difficult to say. The gaming culture has always existed, but before in games, if you buy some virtual assets, for example, a hat, you proceeded, that item helped you to proceed inside the game. For example, you put the hat on and your intelligence goes plus 100 points, or you wear an armor, then again your hit points goes plus 100 points up. So basically it has been there a long time. But before, what has changed now, people are buying fashionable items and they don't help you to proceed inside the game. They are just show off your status. For example, there are rare skins inside the game, and if somebody is wearing them, that has cost a lot of digital money. So that's well, it's like basically in the high school yard. If you are wearing wrong kind of clothes, nobody is going to talk with you. And if you're wearing right kind of skins, it's more easier to game up inside the game.
Right. What does it take to create a piece of digital fashion, clothes, outfit, avatar maybe?
Well, it basically takes a 3D platform. Inside the gaming culture, they use Unity and Unreal Engine, but in the, let's say, more traditional world, they use nowadays Marvel's design software, and the most used is an app called Glow 3D. So Glow 3D is really a big thing, and now there is even how do you say, a big trend looking after designers who are very good at working with Glow 3D.
Wow.
Very cool digital outfits if you go to search for Instagram or Facebook and you just type in Glow 3D and whoa, they're so good designers. What you can.
Gives me a desire to buy one for myself.
Sorry?
Gives me a desire to buy one for myself, at least to test 3D clothes. Oh my God.
Since I know that you are from Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
There is actually a Ukrainian company called DressX, which has a platform that is selling digital outfits.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I have to say, which gets a lot of critique, is that some of those digital fashion items you buy with the thing called NFT.
And for the listeners, non-fundable tokens, right?
Yes, non-fungible tokens. Mm-hmm. So why is that? It's that because if some item is in a digital form, it's easily to be copied. And now there's been a big trend in digital art. I think it's really started a big trend that digital artists are selling their art pieces in online environment, and people are using non-fungible tokens to get them. And the critique comes that the technology demands to have Ethereum blockchain technology. And everyone knows when we talk about cryptocurrencies, they are not that sustainable. So we have to be cautious when we talk about digital fashion and sustainability. The problem is not that much the NFTs, but the Ethereum blockchain technology behind that. That's a huge system which is not very scalable. because it takes so much calculation power. That's how the blockchain technology work. There are blocks and then there are miners. They try to calculate if this, what is this block's origin, and they validate it, and they look after the blockchain is not being tampered. And that technology now enables new kind of business. And yes, there are going to be better and more sustainable solutions. I might not go today into proof of work way of compensating miners and proof of stake way of compensating miners, but Ethereum is in the end, finally, some say it takes a little bit more than a year, going to be more sustainable. So at this point, yes, it's not that sustainable. Yes, it still causes less us for consuming water. You know, for example, t-shirt takes almost 3,000 liters of water to make. So if you take a digital t-shirt, there's a saving in water.
What would be interesting to look into is that, you know, how much resource goes into the creation of digital piece of art, take fashion, versus the same item in the physical world. So I imagine with digital, you only need energy, but then this energy has to come from some friendly resource like alternative energy source, versus the water, human involvement in the creation of that cotton t-shirt or any other t-shirt, you know, whether child labor was involved, whether the workers have been paid in China, in Bangladesh, and so on, to have your t-shirt arrive safely, you know, and in Europe, to Europe. So in terms of that, you know, let's start with the social concerns and social issues. How many people does it take to create one digital piece?
Basically, it can be only one designer. So the supply chain goes to one designer, maybe some platform that is offering the product, and the end consumer. So if you think about the value chain, it's quite short, but it brings the same, almost, well, it depends whom you ask, but almost the same value.
Right. So the supply chain is basically almost non-existent, and
Yes.
The whole value chain shrinks to two people, one creator and one consumer. Then in terms of the environmental aspects, am I right to understand that this is, we are talking only about the energy input?
Yes, there is also, of course, if you're using a technology called real-time cloud rendering, meaning the 3D design need to be calculated, and usually it's rendered in a cloud, or well, it can be in many different ways, but there is some energy cost in that as well. So we have to be no, but if you take only one picture, then the energy cost is like.
Right, but if I'm using this outfit for a 1 hour Zoom call and it's moving, I don't know, it's flying behind my back, the energy input, I imagine, is different, right?
It's small. It's like Snapchat has those camera lenses you can wear in Zoom. So I would have a funny hat or something like puppy ears. Mm-hmm. So it's a similar kind of energy cost.
How big is the market now for digital fashion?
That's a very difficult question, and well, I said inside game the virtual assets is 50 billion, but I would have to go into numbers. I tried to make a Google search and I could find market size for digital art, but the digital fashion estimates, they vary a lot.
Right.
So sorry, I have to go and try to give my best guess, but not here right now.
No problem. The question I have, how did you start working in that field?
This is pretty much my own mission. me and two other founders, we are founding a new company called X3L. We are going to have a digital fashion summit actually in the later this year, in the first week of December. It's an adjacent event close to slush.org. Slush is pretty famous, a big tech conference. Mm-hmm. So we are on a mission to make the fashion more sustainable. And so far we don't have, we are not paying any money to ourselves. So we are on a really a bigger mission to make this more, so that everyone would know that there is alternatives to buy fashion in some other form than, well, I don't mention brands, but fast fashion brands.
Do you feel the brands will take on that journey too?
Yes, definitely. I think everything, well, how do you say, fast fashion brands, they are viewed very closely now under the sustainable lens, that what are they doing? So they have to transform their business to more sustainable form. So there is a pressure coming from outside that, yes, I think they have to do it.
Fast fashion agree. I just don't know if they will have enough their own resource, even capacity to lead maybe that transformation. Would you expect it rather from luxury brands or from fast fashion, smaller markets?
Yeah, luxury brands have already started. So Gucci is selling, as we speak, digital sneakers. They cost about $30 each sneaker. Balenciaga has started doing virtual fashion shows, 3D fashion shows. Louis Vuitton is very much in the gaming space, selling virtual items. So they are on the journey as we speak.
Right. And to buy one, you mentioned NFTs, the form of a digital currency, right?
Yes. It's actually tracks the origin of the item. So if you resell the item or you kind of know that's secured by the blockchain technology, the Ethereum technology behind the item. It's a technology called minting. The digital item is added to Ethereum blockchain, and that becomes NFT in the process. So it's sort of gives you a feeling that you are buying original item.
Right. But a question from a consumer side, if I want to go to the DressX.com, I imagine, and find a digital piece for myself, will I be able to pay with my credit card, or does it mean that I will have to register some form of an electronic wallet and find the way to buy NFTs with my digital money, dollars, let's say? I go buy NFTs, and with NFTs I buy the digital piece. Is it? Am I right?
Different kind of methods. There are digital stores where you can still use so-called fiat money, meaning you can use credit cards, but there is also a possibility in some stores to buy with the Ethereum cryptocurrency. So both options are available.
This is crazy. What do you think is going to happen in the foreseeable future? Will it become common to have a digital piece? How long does it live, by the way, the piece? You buy and it disappears in some time, or it stays in your digital wardrobe?
Well, I think that if I don't resell it, it stays in my digital wardrobe as long as I keep it there. As far as I know that the thing I have in my mobile phone it's still there. But I don't know, now the lead times when something new comes to in the stores, it's about 7 months in the traditional fashion market. but now the trends can go up and down. That is the latest fashionable thing in digital world. So that will be interesting how fast the thing becomes like old fashioned,
Right.
especially when we are talking about social media, how fast things spread in social media.
Right. Do you own any items yourself?
Yeah, I have one jacket. Yes.
You should have worn it to this interview. Wonderful. Well, that's crazy how the world changes, right? And I think the ongoing pandemic will even accelerate it even more. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. It has been one of the accelerators, because most part of the world is still locked inside their homes, or it's limited where they can go, and people still have the appetite for buying something new and show off. They can't go into clubs and show the newest item, and so this is the one way to
Right.
show that I have something new.
Wow, I really do hope that there is a space for sustainability in this new world, and that it's really going to become a life-changing aspect for fashion, to have the possibility to own that in a digital form. But what makes me kind of, sad in a way, I love digital world. I love that we have this opportunity to speak with you being in Finland, me being in Turkey currently. This is amazing. And I treat even this podcast as the window to the world, which is very different if I would be sitting in one spot in one little village or town or city in one specific country. Digital opens the world to you. At the same time, damn it, we still live in the physical world. So it's super important what you see from the outside, from your window. Is it a sea or is it a highway? What is your physical environment like? Interior design, furniture, pieces of clothes that you wear, that is, you keep it close to your body. It's super important. And I don't know if digital will be able to cover these tangible needs completely for humans. What's your feeling?
Yes, we are still going to need some real world clothes. We can go to the streets naked and just, hey, you forgot to wear your augmented reality glasses, so put them on. I'm wearing coolest digital outfits. Don't miss it. So what I'm looking after, that part of that thing we consume and wear is transformed in the digital form. So of course we still need tangible items, but I hope that we would change a little bit the thinking behind what are the items we buy. You, for example, might know the 30 wear slogan. So buy a piece of clothes that you think before, that's the one I'm going to use at least 30 times. So I would really love that the thinking behind our shopping behavior changes.
Yeah. Yeah, and to me personally, sustainability is also about balance and harmony. Having some digital clothes, having some biodegradable clothes from pineapples or mushroom leather, so to say, having some cotton clothes in balance, like a diversified wardrobe. That is the way to be sustainable, to be stable, balanced, and sustainable at the same time. This is what um, this conversation inspired in me. Do you have any? I usually ask, we had a very nice interview now. I usually wrap up with one advice from the guest to the listeners. What would be yours?
Just stay curious, because curiosity always leads to new things. And when you find new things, it usually gives you something new to think about it. So my advice was to stay as curious as a 5-year-old child and approach new things such as 5-year-old person would do.
Right. Thank you so much. I knew you will provide a wealth of experience and wisdom, and you did.
Thank you so much for the interview, Anna.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks for being with us today and for listening to this episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. This was episode number 86, season 8 of Sustainability Explored. If you like this podcast, this episode, if you found it useful, or going to implement any advice and information shared by Krista, please let me or her know via LinkedIn. We would very much appreciate your feedback, and it will most certainly make us very, very happy. Also, subscribe to this podcast not to miss any new episodes. And if you like the podcast in general, please do leave us a review, leave us some stars, share some love. You can leave some comments on the platform you're listening on. And we are now available on 77 plus platforms. So that's a long, big field to walk on. Your review, your comments, your stars will help other people discover this channel, this podcast, and will help them, I hope so, educate themselves on sustainability. Thank you once again for being with us today, and until next time, take care, stay sustainable.